Hello everybody from I-24 News Studios. This is an international news channel coming out of these studios at Jaffa Port. And this is where I plan to broadcast the stories we worked on this year with IDC students. We have researched and picked up stories that had not only journalistic merit, but also an international or universal appeal. The students went through the process of creating a quality storytelling, including writing, shooting, and editing. And here are the highlights presented by the students who made them.
"40 years ago, a group of African Americans from Chicago packed their lives and moved to Dimona. In this remote small town in southern Israel, they hoped to reestablish their long-awaited Kingdom of God. It was a cultural clash from the first moment. For decades, they lived as outcasts, insisting they are of the lineage of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, while Israeli society refused to embrace them. Nowadays, the second generation is determined to sharpen the blurry image of their beliefs, while becoming a more salient part of Israeli mainstream society. This is the story of the Dimona Hebrews, the next generation.
This is where our ancestors were from. So we were returning back to the promised land.
It all started in Chicago in 1967, when Ben Carter, a factory worker, had a vision. 2 years later, Carter came here to Dimona with a group of African Americans from Chicago. It was nothing like a promised land.
When we first got here, it was basically desert.
We didn't know that we wouldn't really be accepted, in terms of our identity. For us, that was like a slap in the face.
A lot has changed since then. Most notably, a new generation was born in Israel.
I think that we should be accepted under all of the same traditions that everybody else is accepted under.
They want to see the world. They want to experience what life has to give them.
I'm coming, to show my dedication to Israel. And if you need me to do the military, in order to show my dedication to Israel, I'll do so.
We may see this shift in many areas of mainstream culture. Members of the community opened a vegan restaurant in Ben Yehuda Street, right at the heart of Tel Aviv. Some of them participate in prime-time singing reality TV shows. A local singer was even chosen to represent Israel in the Eurovision Song Contest. A generation later, they are more of an exotic minority rather than outcasts.
There are many minorities in Israel. None is bigger or as complex as the Arabs. They comprise about 1/5 of the population and are exempt of military service, otherwise mandatory by law for Israeli citizens. Within this minority, there is an even smaller one, Christian Arabs. Recently, young Christian Arabs are changing the paradigm. They voluntarily join the Israeli military in growing numbers, hoping for better integration with Israeli society. They are determined to do so, even at the price of fighting with their Arab Muslim brothers in the battlefield or in Israel itself. It's Easter in Nazareth. Church bells are ringing, eggs are painted, and all seems well. However, under this tranquil surface, a dramatic clash is taking place. A growing number of Christian youth are now choosing to draft to Israeli military service, an act that is vigorously shaking the local Arab and Christian communities.
בתור ישראלי נוצרי, ערבי גם, שגר במדינת ישראל, לא חל עליי חוק חובה להתגייס לצה"ל, אבל בכל זאת בחרתי להתגייס, כי אני מרגיש חלק בלתי נפרד מהמדינה הזאת. להיות כמו כולם גם, לשלב בחברה, גאה בזה שאני אזרח ישראלי.
אני קורא לבני העדה הנוצרית, התגייסו לצה"ל, עזרו לשמור על המדינה.
The movement led by Nadaf has encountered aggressive resistance from the Arab communities in Israel.
ما ببيع تاريخ
لن أخدم جيشكم
لن أخدم جيشكم
وانت
האינטרס של העם שלי אומר שלא צריכים להתגייס. אסור לנו להתגייס לצבא שכובש את העם שלי, שנאבק עם העם שלי.
It is hard for Christians to come out or speak out loudly and say, I am siding with Israel. Israel is doing the right thing for us. We live here in peace. We live in freedom. It's hard to say it, even though it's true.
To be fruitful and multiply is not just a biblical commandment, but also a life objective of most Israelis. But nature is not always on everyone's side, and for some women, fertilization treatments are their only way to achieve what they desire most, a family. Israel has become the IVF capital of the world, and the state has taken it upon itself to make sure that any woman who wants to have children receives generous help in doing so. However, this comes with a cost, and policies are now being revisited. Should public funding make financial sense, or should it help to keep women's hopes alive at any cost?
The fact that you know that you can't bring your own baby, it's like a life sentence. I mean, when they tell you such a thing, that's the end.
Everybody has the right to have a child. In Israel, the right to have a child turned into a law.
Unlike other countries, Israel provides funding for women going through IVF until the late cutoff age of 45.
Practically, you'll never get a pregnancy using IVF over this age. As a matter of fact, I think the age should be even lower.
Though the statistics for the general population in this range of age is very low, that doesn't matter for the single patient, because patients always think that they will succeed.
I have twin 4.5-year-olds. They're a trip. They're a riot. They're very cute.
The days of blind dates are long gone. Like the days when men used to knock on women's doors with flowers in their hands instead of smartphones. Romance has changed dramatically, and dating is becoming as simple as saying, Siri, will you find me a date for this evening? In the culture of search and match with pictures and personal history shared with the world, dating is now very efficient. To some, it is also too mechanical, just like pressing another button.
We're lazy lovers these days.
It takes out all the romance and all the mystery.
It made it a lot less personal.
People spend so much time attached to their devices that mobile applications have become the popular way of finding that special someone.
Today's world is so fast-paced. No one has time to actually go to bars and actually go on dates.
We didn't have cell phones, we didn't have SMS. There's no romantic side of what's going on these days.
From a capitalist point of view, like choosing a tomato in the supermarket, comparing tomatoes, who's the best. Now we think about lovers the same way. Okay, we compare profiles, we have a lot of data, but when the body is absent from the romantic sphere, we are missing important and crucial clues that the body can give us.
New research shows that couples that met online have a 33% better chance of staying together than those who met otherwise.
It is based on looks initially, but once you are matched and you start to contact each other and message each other, you know, I mean, we found real love, and it's really been, I'm so grateful to Tinder, I can't even tell you.
Hopefully, these stories in full will be available shortly on a screen near you.